Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
From makeshift studios deep in the heart of stately Maine Manor, this is the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris. Folks, how are you doing this week? I hope you've had a great week. Let me tell you a little bit about mine. It has been better than the previous week. Still, I think in a 2020 atmosphere, you're shooting for, let's just get through this week. There aren't many high points, I think, on the 2020 road to 2021. I'm ready for 2021 to get here. I know you're not supposed to wish away your life or anything like that, but speaking for myself, and I am unanimous in this, I'm ready for 2020 just to be over with. You know, I voted like a week and a half ago. I sent in my ballot. I dropped it off personally. And I think I've gotten more political ads in my timeline and on everything else, videos that I watch since I turned in my ballot than I did before I turned in my ballot. And so I tweeted out this past week that there needs to be a button on social media platforms that says, I've already voted. No thanks. Don't need anything else. But it is what it is, right? I am just... You get stir crazy, not being able to just go about your life. I had my annual physical this past week. And you show up in person and I'm sanitizing, I'm using the hand sanitizer as soon as I get in. And I've got the mask covering and there's the person that greets you at the door. And she says to me, and she's taking my temperature, she's going down the litany of questions that she has to ask. And it's like, have you been out of the state of Maine in the past 14 days? And I laughed. I openly laughed. I surprised myself. I'm like, man, I haven't been out of the state of Maine since February. And that was for 2 hours to go to Canada to get a burger. Episode 5. If you're just catching on, you can go back in the archives and check that out. I said, I haven't been anywhere. I go to appointments. That's it. And she just laughs and says, I fully understand. I understand your pain. I know what you're talking about. That's like, we're in the political season. That's Bill Clinton when he was running for president. Remember, I feel your pain. That's what she was saying to me. That's what I was experiencing this week. She felt my pain. But anyway, today we are looking at something that is the latest thing that I have ever covered on this show. We've been spending a lot of time in the year 1989, and we'll continue with that. And we'll finish the year. But today I want to flash forward to just a few years ago, still a few years ago, but many fewer years ago, if I can turn an awkward phrase, many fewer years ago than we've been looking at. We are flashing back to 2011, as today we are looking at the 2011 Royal Rumble from the WWE. When I go back and I look at these shows, I try to think about where I was at the time. And this may change in the future, but for right now, I'm taking a quantum leap approach to this show. I'm only doing things during my lifetime. 2011 was not a great year for me personally. I don't need to get into all of the details because, quite frankly, you wouldn't care. But for wrestling, it was a good year. I mean, this starts the year that we had the Summer of Punk, and all these things are happening, and you get really good matches. You get really intriguing matches. You get really good pay-per-views. Things are intriguing, and people are starting to take notice of your product, which is always a good thing. Wrestling is there for you, so you be there for wrestling. The Royal Rumble 2011 took place on January the 30th, 2011, from TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. There were 15,133 people in attendance, and the show did 476,000 pay-per-view buys. The opening credits highlighting past Royal Rumbles and the fact that 40 men will compete, a record that stood until 7 years later, 2018, the greatest Royal Rumble that the WWE had in Saudi Arabia. Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Matt Striker are the commentators for the event. And we start out hot, folks. The World Heavyweight Championship match. Edge versus Dolph Ziggler. Edge will lose the title if he uses the spear. Vicky Guerrero comes out. She reminds everyone that the spear is banned. She starts chanting spear to set off Edge. Edge with the early advantage. Ziggler coming back. Edge gets a 1 count and then a 2 count. A knee to Ziggler's stomach gets another 2 count. It goes to the outside. Edge throws Ziggler into the barricade. Edge continues to punish. Ziggler nails Edge coming back in. Neckbreaker gets 2 count for Ziggler. Ziggler focusing on Edge's back. He goes for multiple pin attempts. A Let's Go Edge chant goes out. Edge rolls through a sunset flip and catapults Ziggler into the corner post. Ziggler gets another neckbreaker. Ziggler relentless with a reverse snapmare and cover. Edge is then shot outside and hits the barricade. Another 2 count for Ziggler. Ziggler working a headlock. Double body press and both men are down. The referee's count starts. Both up and Ziggler misses a corner charge. Edge hits a modified flapjack. Back and forth. Edge gets a 2 count. Ziggler hits a jawbreaker. Edge counters a famouser for a 2 count. Edge goes up top, but gets caught. Edge blocks a superplex and hits a crossbody. Ziggler rolls through it for a 2 count. A dropkick by Ziggler gets another 2 count. Edge with a modified sharpshooter. Ziggler gets to the ropes. Another famouser gets a 2 count for Ziggler. Edge gets a high knee. He positions himself for the spear. He rethinks it and comes out as Ziggler gets the sleeper on. Edge fights out and hits a DDT. Vicky breaks up the count. Folks, a DDT should be a finisher. Now, thankfully, they didn't use it as a transition move here, but it is used as a transition move way too often. So Vicky breaks up the count. She gets up on the apron and Edge comes over to her. She slaps him. Ziggler comes from behind to hit Edge, but he ducks and Ziggler stops himself before hitting Vicky. But Edge rolls him up for a 2 count. I thought this was going to be the end of the match. Thankfully, they did something clever where it was not the end of the match, but it was a 2 count opportunity. Vicky starts slapping Edge again. Kelly comes down and attacks Vicky. Ziggler hits the zigzag, but Edge kicks out at 2.5. Ziggler gets the sleeper on again. Edge, trying to get out, hits the referee. Edge hits a piggyback stunner to get out. With everyone still down, Edge goes for the spear. He hits it and Ziggler sells it like he's been shot. Edge hits the unprettier to win. Vicky is irate that Edge won. Cole, Striker, and Lawler talk about the last match and then the next match coming up. Flashback to what led to the WWE Championship match. Josh Matthews talks to The Miz and Alex Riley. Miz says there's a reason that he's the champion and Randy Orton is not. WWE Championship match. The Miz with Alex Riley versus Randy Orton. Michael Cole really playing up his heel role as The Miz comes out. Miz gets some cheers as he is announced. Orton with uppercuts to start, and then he throws Miz out. Orton throws Miz into several guardrails, then a clothesline to Miz. Back in, Orton kicks Miz several times as Lawler and Cole bicker. He does a bottom rope guillotine for a 2 count. Miz starts to feebly fight back. Riley catches Orton with a hot shot while the referee is admonishing Miz. Miz on the attack. Orton blocks Miz, running him into a turnbuckle and runs Miz instead. Riley pulls Miz away from the Orton corner charge. Miz beating Orton down into the corner. He gets a 2 count. Riley keeps cheating for Miz. Cole high-fives Riley. Miz with a headlock. Orton comes back with a headbutt. Back and forth. Miz with a back elbow for a 2 count. A big knee to Orton's head for a 2 count. Miz goes back to the headlock. Orton counters. Miz goes for a belly-to-back suplex. Orton hits an elbow. Orton gets a back suplex. Miz gets a big kick for a 2.5 count. Miz goes up top and gets caught. Orton hits a superplex. Shades of his father. Miz kicks out at 2. They trade blows. Orton hitting some big clotheslines. Then a backbreaker on Miz. Miz backdrops Orton outside where he is attacked by Riley. Miz runs Orton into the barricade and then the ring. He gets a 2 count. He hits a top rope double axe handle on Orton and gets another 2 count. Miz tries for multiple pin attempts. He then tries for a chin lock. Modified camel clutch. Orton powers back up. It goes outside. Miz catapults Orton into the ring post. The referee starts to count on Orton. He gets back into the ring at 8 and attacks Miz. Orton hits a big clothesline on Miz, then another, then a big power slam. He then does the Garvin Stomp on Miz. That gets a 2 count. Miz comes back with a backbreaker, neckbreaker combo for a 2 count. Miz rolls out after another 2 count. He grabs his belt and goes to leave, and Orton hits him with a clothesline outside. Miz gets rolled up for a 2 count after missing a big boot. Orton hits a suspension DDT. The new Nexus comes out. Riley goes to attack Orton, who throws him on the new Nexus. Miz goes for the skull-crushing finale, but Orton counters with an RKO. CM Punk then comes and hits Orton with the go to sleep and puts Miz on top of Orton, and Miz gets the pin. We then go to the Don't Try This at Home ad. Todd Grisham reads Cody Rhodes' statement about why he isn't there and about his injuries at the hands of Rey Mysterio. The WWE Universe gives their prediction on who will win the Rumble. 2-on-1 handicap match for the Divas Championship. Lay Cool versus Natalya. The anonymous Raw GM changes the match to a fatal 4-way. Eve comes out. Layla and Michelle McCool go on offense. Facebuster on Eve. Natalya slingshots Layla on McCool. McCool and Layla stare each other down. Multiple pin attempts. Natalya does a double sharpshooter on Layla and Eve before McCool breaks it up. Layla hits a neck breaker on Eve. More pin attempts. Lawler is just sandbagging Stryker at every turn, when Stryker is honestly just trying to make the commentary in the match better. You know, I'm tired of all the Stryker hate. Stryker was there to do a job. You may not like him, that's fine. He may be annoying. Valid, fair criticism if you want to go that way. But he was put there for a reason. And if you sandbag him and make him look bad, it also makes you look bad, and it makes the product look bad. I'm tired of adults acting like children. Grow up. You know, you don't like the guy, work with him. Make him better. Don't sandbag him in public and make his life miserable and make your product worse. I'm Joey Harris, and that's my opinion. Eve hits a moonsault at the same time McCool covers Natalya. They announce Eve as the winner. Josh Matthews interviews Daniel Bryan and Gail Kim. Bryan talks about the Royal Rumble before being interrupted by the Bellas. They start brawling. A preview of the Royal Rumble match by the numbers. Justin Roberts announces the rules. We then go to our 2011 Royal Rumble match. Number 1, CM Punk. The core comes around the ring. They attack Punk. The new Nexus comes down and both teams brawl. The anonymous Raw GM sends a message for everyone to stop. He says everyone but Punk has to leave. A CM Punk chant goes out. Number 2 is Daniel Bryan. They brawl. Back and forth. Bryan hits a big drop kick as dueling chants goes out. Number 3 is Justin Gabriel. He attacks Punk. Bryan and Punk are both down. Gabriel misses a 450 splash. Bryan dumps him out. Number 4 is Zack Ryder. He goes after both wrestlers in the ring, but gets hip tossed out by Bryan. Number 5 is William Regal. He attacks both men hard. A Regal chant goes out. Regal slugs it out with Bryan. Punk then hits Regal. Bryan kicks both Punk and Regal. Number 6 is Ted DiBiase. He comes out. This is Ted Jr. He knocks everyone in the ring down. He then tries to eliminate Punk. Bryan starts attacking Regal. Number 7 is John Morrison. He attacks everyone in the ring. Morrison is then knocked to the outside, but he grabs the barricade and climbs on it as Regal is eliminated. Morrison jumps to the ring steps and comes back into the ring. Number 8 is Yoshitatsu. Number 9 is Husky Harris. He protects Punk and is attacked by Bryan and Morrison. Number 10 is Chavo Guerrero. Guerrero does the Three Amigos to DiBiase, but gets cut off by Punk, so he starts doing them to Punk. He is then cut off by Morrison, so he starts doing them to Morrison. He is then cut off by Bryan, so he starts doing them to Bryan. He is then attacked by Husky Harris. Number 11 is Mark Henry. Guerrero attacks him. Henry catches him and dumps him over. Henry then eliminates Tatsu. Harris and Punk attack Henry. Number 12 is JTG. Number 13, Michael McGillicuddy. JTG is eliminated by Bryan. DiBiase is eliminated. Number 14 is Chris Masters. He goes after Punk, but is attacked by McGillicuddy. Number 15 is David Otunga. Bryan is eliminated. Masters is eliminated. The New Nexus eliminates Morrison. They go after and eliminate Henry. Number 16 is Tyler Rex. The New Nexus immediately attack and eliminate him. Number 17, Vladimir Kozlov. They attack and eliminate him. Number 18, R-Truth. Again, attack and eliminate. Number 19, The Great Khali. He eliminates Harris. Number 20 is Mason Ryan. He attacks Khali and eliminates him. Number 21 is Booker T. He comes out to a big pop. He attacks the New Nexus. He hits the bookend and does a spinneroonie, but then gets eliminated. Number 22 is John Cena. He comes out determined. He eliminates all but Punk quickly. He and Punk then start to go at it. Back and forth, double clothesline. At that point, number 23 comes out and it's Hornswoggle. Punk hits him with a stiff kick. Punk goes to eliminate Cena, who switches it and eliminates Punk. Number 24 is Tyson Kidd. He gets double teamed, and both Cena and Hornswoggle hit the attitude adjustment on Kidd. He then gets eliminated. Number 25 is Heath Slater. He gets the 10-knuckle shuffle and the tadpole splash and gets eliminated. Number 26 is Kofi Kingston. He takes his time going down. He and Cena finally lock up. Number 27 is Jack Swagger. He attacks everyone. Kingston attacks him while Hornswoggle has him distracted. Number 28 is Sheamus. He takes down everyone. Hornswoggle attacks him. He goes after Hornswoggle, but gets attacked by Cena. Swagger attacks Cena and Sheamus eliminates Hornswoggle. Number 29 is Rey Mysterio. He goes after everyone, but gets grounded by Sheamus. Mysterio eliminates Swagger. Number 30 is Wade Barrett. He and Cena go at it. Kingston gets Barrett down. Number 31 is Dolph Ziggler. He goes after Cena and Kingston. Ziggler and Barrett try to eliminate Cena. Number 32 is Diesel. He gets a huge pop coming out as he puts on his black glove. A Diesel chant goes out. He goes after everyone. Number 33 is Drew McIntyre. He and Sheamus go after Diesel. A Let's Go Diesel chant goes out. Mysterio hits the 619 on Diesel. Payback for the lawn dart incident in WCW, perhaps? Number 34 is Alex Riley. Barrett eliminates Diesel. The Miz then joins commentary. Number 35 is The Big Show. Big Show and Diesel have a stare-down moment as they pass each other on the ramp. Big Show hits the ring and just goes through the competition. He eliminates Ziggler. Kingston and Cena eliminate Riley. Number 36 is Ezekiel Jackson. The Big Show eliminates McIntyre. Jackson eliminates Big Show. Jackson clotheslines everyone. Number 37 is Santino Marella. He goes after Jackson, who knocks him down, and he slides out under the bottom rope. Number 38 is Alberto Del Rio. He comes down being announced and comes out in a Bentley. He takes his time. Number 39 is Randy Orton. He attacks Del Rio from behind on the way to the ring. He throws him into the stairs. He RKOs several people. He eliminates Kingston and Sheamus. Orton and Cena circle each other. Number 40 is Kane. He goes after Orton. Jackson clothesline Kane, who ducks as Jackson goes for another, but gets eliminated. Mysterio Hurricane Rana's Kane out, but gets bumped out by Barrett. Barrett and Cena and Del Rio and Orton squaring off. Cena hits a gut-wrench suplex to Barrett. Orton beats down Del Rio. Orton and Cena again circle each other and slug it out. Barrett breaks it up. Attitude adjustment for Del Rio. Alex Riley comes back down and distracts Cena, causing The Miz to jump in the ring and eliminate Cena. The final three left to circle each other. Barrett and Del Rio double team Orton. Orton fighting back. Orton eliminates Barrett, then gets eliminated by Del Rio. It looks like Del Rio has won. Morella climbs back in the ring. He crosses himself and then hits the Cobra on Del Rio. He goes to throw Del Rio out, but Del Rio reverses it and throws Morella out and is announced the winner. They review the ending before signing off from Boston. Hey folks, if you like the show, please leave a review in iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your podcast platform of choice. There are a number of ways that you can contact me. You can follow the show's Twitter at cupofjoepod. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at @TheJoeyHarris. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey Harris saying so long from Stately, Maine Manor.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.